It's great to see
Seeing
you.
you, Doug.
Great
All right,
memories with
Great
all
to
you
see
guys. I wish I
See you,
could stick
Douggie.
around. Great seeing you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Douggie. All right, I'm gonna show some film.
There's me. In the front.
That's Cisco, 36.
I think that's me. 39, maybe. I don't know.
What number were you, Ron? 76?
Yeah, 76.
Hey, Fred, can you hear me?
Guys,
Oh, there it is.
There we go. I can see it now.
And we had a nice line.
That's the Dickinson game. That was, I think, the first or second game of the year.
That was the second game of the year.
Coach Lennox, were you coaching at Dickinson now? Is this your first year at Dickinson, or
No, I'm at.
you're still at Brandywine?
Yeah, he's.
I was assistant. Frenzy was the head coach. I was his assistant. And Marty was there. Marty Apostolico.
And then did you go the next year?
What was the first year? Was it 19? No, when I left Brandywine, I went to AI for a year.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was at AI for a year. Then I went to Dickinson.
That's awesome, Frank.
Fred, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. That's
There it is.
here's the
That's Dickinson and Brandywine.
Yeah.
They're playing a game of Dickinson and Brandywine. Like before I was at Dickinson, I was at Brandywine's assistant.
You're playing? You're watching it?
Yeah, he's got a couple of games on tape of
Oh my God.
it's up here. He brings it in. He's having
40 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, right?
amazing.
Unreal.
My rubber helmet.
No, they didn't.
When I tell the kids that I coach that we used to play on Saturday mornings at 10:30, they don't believe me.
Yeah.
When do they play now?
We play all Friday night games.
Wow.
Yeah, under the lights, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
It's great. It's a great environment. It's a whole different experience.
How's your dad doing?
He's doing great, John. Thanks.
Tell him I said hello.
Just turned 83 the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Yep, I will. He always asks about you.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He had a lot of talks with me. Straighten me out. Boy. No.
That's what he did to me.
Yeah, I know that's what he did to you.
Wow.
let's get a couple more. We got Wilm.
That's William Penn.
There you go. All I know is I sacked Benny Hendrickson.
Wow.
I didn't beat him in wrestling, but I sacked him.
Man. Please don't show that snap over the punter's head. I don't want to see that 40 years later.
It still hurts.
Still hurts. Every time I see Jack Gerstenberg, he mentions it.
Of course.
I coached Gerstenberg's son at Carnegie.
You don't realize you're going to develop those kind of memories, you know?
Right.
Oh, there's
Oh, man.
Didn't Tom Anderson have a long run in that game?
Yeah.
I thought so, right down the sideline, I remember.
Yeah, and I think Joffrey caught at least one pass for a TD too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where Joffrey is now.
I just saw him for the first time since I graduated like 3 months ago, getting a haircut at his uncle's house, at his dad's place.
I saw him. I was home. I want to say it was like 2017 or something, and a bunch of us got together. And I saw him then. And I spoke to him on the phone the other day. I thought he was going to be logging on.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Joffrey.
Joff.
Yeah, he said he was going to be on as well. Yeah.
So it's probably a few more. Come on, let me get into some questions because I heard some guys ask before where everybody was, and just to recapture these 40 years, and Coach can chime in as well because he has way more memories than all of us can remember. And Mike was a year before, so we'll dig back into the annals in his years as well. So the first question is this. What game do you remember most from the 1980 season? And Mike, for you, it would be 79. What game do you remember most from the 1980 season, and why?
I'll go first. I remember the game I remember most in 1979 was the Middletown game at Middletown.
Yes.
Under the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, under the lights. And
Dwayne Henry.
Dwayne Henry, Coach Reed had they had like 25 different formations. And I had to memorize all 25 formations and line up because they only did like 2 things out of each formation.
Right, that's right.
I studied harder for that than I did for any test I ever took in my entire life.
Yeah.
But he told me and he said, I think you're the only one who's going to be able to understand this. So I need you to memorize this. So, but I did. It worked. I mean, we were right there. I was right in every play in that game.
Yes, sir.
Wow, Mike.
Ronnie, what game you remember the most from our last season in 80?
Well, I was just thinking, he said Middletown. I remember our junior year, Frankie, which would have been Mike's senior year, which would have been, 79, 80. I think we played if I recall, we played him at Brandywine. And it was a really muddy game because I have pictures of that. And I just remember Dwayne Henry, it was 5 or 6 of us carrying him on his back. He was like, Jim Brown. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
He was
I remember that game, and he went on to be I think he played some pro baseball for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he played in the Rangers organization for about 11 years.
Did he?
He made it up to the show like twice, but then he went back down.
In that game, in the 1980 game at Brandywine, I tackled him on a special teams play, kickoff or punt.
Yeah. It'd be 79 game.
That was like the highlight. That was like my favorite play of my entire Brandywine career was that I tackled Dwayne Henry.
Awesome. Dries, that what you got?
The game, though, that I remember from our senior year that always sticks out to me, I mean, William Penn was incredible. The one pass from Doug to you down the side, you always remember that. But the Newark game, because, it was on a Monday.
Yep.
The field was a quagmire. It rained. We played them. They came in really cocky. They were 4 or 5-0. Chris Mensch and the whole gang, they came in really cocky. I remember the paper and all. And we just shut them down. I mean, it was 6-2.
I remember running back to the locker room after the game so they wouldn't come after us.
And you know who we hey Ronnie, you know who we shut down? We shut down Tracy Waller. Remember him?
That's right. Yeah.
He was a defensive end tight end. He was supposed to be All-America. We shut him down. But if you remember that year, Dickinson, we shut down Raymond Borley. Right. He was supposed to be crazy on us. I'll tell you who we didn't shut down. We didn't shut down Mike Bill, but we still beat Mount Pleasant.
First play of the game, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, and Mount Pleasant had a running back. What was his name? He went on to become a state trooper.
Mike Bill.
Oh, Mike. Okay, right. Yeah, he. I don't recall shutting him down.
Nah, we didn't.
No, not at
all. He ran all over us.
Coach Lennox, which game you remember the most?
I can't remember what I had for breakfast. I will say this. I mean, my 3 years at Brandywine were great. I really thoroughly enjoyed you guys. I loved working there. I loved everything. It was just a great school. Mike, Ricci, and I a couple of times have talked. I came up into Pennsylvania coaching after I left Dickinson. I was up in Pennsylvania for 27 years. I just retired. But I said to Michael that, Brandywine, I could have stayed at Brandywine forever. I said it was just a great school. The kids were great. Everything about it was great. You guys were all great. You were fun to work with. And one thing I used from Renzi. God
bless him.
Renzi would say, who's going to make a play? Who's going to make a play? Champions make a play. Who's going to make the play? And he'd say it over and over, going to be a tough situation, whether, some of the games you were mentioning. And I can remember him saying that. And then invariably one of you would step up, and make the play. It was great. It was a great 3. I really didn't want to leave. I got traded or put on the waiver wire because of enrollment figures. I was a driver ed teacher, got moved over to AI and Dickinson. So you guys,
we
great.
we loved you, Coach. You inspired
Thank
all of
you.
us.
You were
Thanks,
Big
great.
Nut,
Coach.
what game? Nut, what game?
Yeah.
Hey man, you know what? We both just mentioned the Newark Wilm Penn week. That was a great week, right? That Saturday and that Monday, whatever it was. But you know what? I think we also played Concord that year. Am I right?
Yes.
And,
At Concord.
Okay, that Concord, right? I don't know if we won or not.
29-27.
We did.
Concord never
We
beat
did.
us the years that I was
so
there.
check
Yeah,
this
we
out.
did.
So I'm on we're punting the ball to them, right? So I'm on the offensive line, we punt the ball, and they had a fast running back then, or a kickoff guy. What's his name, Frank?
Jeff Hale?
Jeff Hale.
Yes, that's
Jeff
his
Hale.
name.
Jeff
So I
Hale,
know that,
yeah.
you know, I was very fast in high school for a big guy. So I'm hustling down to get him, right? And I nailed him like at the 10-yard line, man. And I thought I was a superstar then, man.
You were.
You were.
You know, boom, boom. And I remember hitting him, and I was like, I got him. This guy was supposed to be like the best running back, you know, around or whatever. Kickoff return guy, whatever he was, punt guy.
Mike Hale,
And
yep.
the best hit, I think, in my 3 years at Brandywine, man.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
was so pumped up, man. I talked about that hit to my family and friends forever. I nailed him, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, that was great, man. Thank you.
My favorite game was of that year, 1980, was the William Penn game because they came in cocky. If y'all remember,
Yeah.
I was an all-state receiver in my junior year, and then they asked me to play quarterback in my senior year. And after that first game, Dickinson, Big Candy laid on my foot and broke it. So I had a broken foot after that first game. So Newark game, the Newark game, I didn't really play much. I was a decoy. I had the whole week I had on one of them wooden splints, but I got in the game was a decoy. And then against William Penn, I wanted to really play because all my boys went to William Penn. So y'all saw I scored a 30-yard touchdown. I had an interception in that game. But Doug DeLong threw a touchdown pass. Tom Anderson had a rushing TD. Granny Gerstenberg had a sensational catch.
Granny.
Chris Curtis kicked that 21-yard field goal with 7 minutes left to seal the deal. So that game was huge for me. And a lot of those guys like Franz Koppel ended up in the Hall of Fame with him at Dell State.
They had a legitimate like Division I college line.
Yes, they did. So they had my roommate Lou Green, that big 72. He was about 6'5", 300. They had Franz Koppel. They had Dave D'Angelo.
Yeah, they were with us.
Yeah, that quarterback was what's the boy's name?
Danny Hendrickson.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah,
he was awesome quarterback, and their running backs were unbelievable.
Frankie, they had Ty Berry. Remember Ty
Yeah,
Berry?
yeah. They had all the Ty Berries. Yep.
The
Hey,
boxer.
John and Dave, did I get y'all for your favorite game?
What's that?
I can tell you my favorite from that
William
year.
Penn.
What William Penn?
My favorite game was William Penn. Yeah.
So I got to go with I think it was Del Castle. Remember Del Castle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We played Del Castle, and the reason that was my favorite is because I felt like we just played with reckless abandon.
Yeah.
We were a better team than they were, and we just went to town. And I can remember.
Yeah, we made a statement.
I can remember playing nose guard and coming real close to sacking the quarterback about 6 times. And, you know, he'd throw the ball and I'd hammer him, but it was just too late. I couldn't get a sack. And that happened 5 or 6 times. And then finally the last time, Gary Siskowski, he just held him for me. He just wrapped him up and said, "Come on, Dave," you know, and I just let him have it. And I finally got, you know, a half a sack because I was like I wasn't the fastest. I was the slowest guy on the team. And